It's Pod Modular. Welcome back, folks. After, quite the 5-night ordeal with Sound Tribe Sector 9, did the great state of Colorado. We are back. And first things first, we had to develop a little bit of a hierarchy here in terms of what we're covering. What we're covering first, what we're getting into, what the people want to hear broken down. So we decided we're going to start with Axe the Cables from Gates Opera Hall here with our recap and get to the rest of the shows next week. But before we get into that, we've got a very special guest with us as well, the Axe the Cables connoisseur himself. But before we get into him, let's bring in my trusty co-host, Mr. Scotty Fuller. How you feeling after 4 nights for yourself?
Man, I'm feeling like $1 million fucking dollars, partner. I feel like I could go 4 more nights. I feel great. I haven't taken my fucking fur coat off since Saturday night.
Man, seeing pictures of you and the squad and everything like that, as if the FOMO wasn't enough for me. Man, everybody looked great.
We'll get into it, but man, yeah, this one was different on every level that could possibly have been different. And you said to me, I don't remember if it was right after the show or if you texted me the next morning, that should we talk about what happened on Saturday before we address anything else? And at first it was an idea I wasn't quite behind. My idea was to break down Saturday and Sunday, and then the more I thought about it, and then we restreamed it, there was no other way to do this. So we're gonna do 4 next week, and give this one its own proper due, because man, there was no moment that wasn't worth talking about on Saturday night. So first things first. Let's get to this shit.
Yes, sir. And I think we're gonna bring in our special guest here, right,
Yes,
Scotty?
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
further ado, go for
Without
it.
further ado, this man is one of my oldest friends, and a very, very close friend of Nate and myself. We go all the way back to our Ole Miss years. He hails from the great state of North Carolina. I forgot to ask him how many Sound Tribe shows he has under his belt before he came on here, but I know it's a whole lot. He currently resides in St. Louis, Missouri, where with his beautiful wife Sydney and his 2 daughters. And this weekend he had the pleasure of coming out to Colorado for a little bit of joint family time with my family. And the reason that he's here tonight, he had the pleasure of attending Gates Opera Hall with myself. Welcome, Brad Younghouse, to the podcast, my friend.
What's up, fellas? It's good to be here, man. Very excited.
Yeah.
What a weekend!
Yeah.
What a weekend it was.
We're pumped to have you, man. But let's get into a little bit of background for yourself as a fan of STS9. Now, when was your first show? How'd you get introduced to them? How many shows have you been to? All that good stuff.
I think Scotty and I have the same first show. 2010, Oxford, Mississippi.
Yes, March 3rd.
We both weren't like big into them. We knew about them, but we had lots of friends that were huge into them. So we got taken. And, I liked it at first. I thought it was awesome. And then they came back about 18 months later in November of 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And right after they had their hiatus and everything. And it struck a nerve, man. It was like, I think we got to breathe in, and I looked at my buddy, Zach Pressman, RAP Zach. And I was like, they play like this? Like, this is real. Like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. And it just kind of went straight from there. But one of my friends, they were selling it merch. They were selling the Axe the Cables DVD, that tour. And we went back and late nighted at my house, and we had a good group of people on, and we put that DVD on. That was even more mind blowing. I was like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen. Like, how do they sound like this? It sounded like that earlier, and eventually a couple years later he ended up just gifting me that same DVD. And I mean, I bet I've watched it 30, 40 times, and it always hits every single time. And I always thought, I was like, man, I wish that one day they'd do this again. And when they announced it, I go, Sydney, they're doing Axe at Kate. She goes, we're going, right? I was like, fucking right. That's the answer I wanted to hear, you know? And so, I mean, it's tough. We don't get to travel much with our two girls. And this is our first time coming out to Colorado since COVID. And I mean, it couldn't have been any better. I mean, Sunday topped it off pretty well too, but Saturday just takes the cake. But I think that was my sixth Axe show, and Sunday was my 80th. So
Okay.
we've got around. We haven't gone to see as much since this 3.0 has been going on, but 1.0, 3.0, 2.0, what we're people are calling 4.0 right now. It's just all so good.
Green jacket, gold jacket.
Who gives?
um, and for people that don't know how heady Brad is, his first born daughter's name, middle name is Satori, right, Brad? So talk us
It
through
must.
that a little bit, man. How do we convince the wife for the namesake there?
Well, she wanted the first name, and I was like, I don't know about that one. And then she goes,
She
well, what
wanted
about
Satori to be the first name.
yeah? So then we started looking at other names. She goes, I never see Savannah. I was like, well, I'm from North Carolina. I see it all the time. She goes, Savannah Satori. That has a good ring to it. I'm like, I'd be down with that,
Mhm.
you know.
Love it.
And enlightenment in Japanese, it's just she enlightened our world. Tribe has enlightened our world just as much, and it's just a gift to be on the earth at the same time as these humans and all of you as well.
Fuck yeah, bud. Um, and then you get the full circle moment with the um, falling Satori, falling. Man, just a couple nights away from getting that again in Fort Collins, but
It's
it was,
Yeah.
Sydney was okay. She goes, did they do it the same way? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, that's okay. That's all
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But we got some videos from B Pearl that night when they were playing it, and I figured out that they went into falling. I was like, oh, it wasn't in
Yeah.
full.
Um, so you talked to both me and Brad a lot about how, I mean, obviously you love STS9, but their mode of axe the cables is something that speaks to you the most. So talk to us and the people a little bit about it. What is it about axe the cables STS9 performances that strikes such a chord with you?
I think it's Phipps on the grand because even all the bands that are my favorites, whether it's Cheese, Fish, Panic, Trap, the keyboard's my favorite, and just something about when Phipps can just lay down the law on that grand piano, coupled with the sound of Hunter on the acoustic, now his hollow body now, and the way Alana can hit the upright bass, and they just gel. They remove the safety net of what Sound Tribe is. They get vulnerable, and that shows you how confident they
Mm,
are in
mm.
themselves to be able to go outside the box, do something so classy, but still really bring it down and hit the home run. And I don't think I've
Remove the
ever. I think
safety net. I like that.
like it's every time I've seen it, it's just my favorite thing. Now people are like, "Oh, it's the best. It's the best." It's just my favorite. And
Yeah.
I would go to all of them if I could. But it just has a way of changing the whole vibe of the crowd because they all know they're getting something special.
Of
And
course.
it,
Of
and
course.
to be the band that they are, to be able to do what they just did on Saturday, it just blows me away. Still, I got goosebumps right now.
So let's go there. Let's go to Saturday. You arrive at my house, and we're getting ready, and the vibes are just they're just a little different, man. Where the girls are figuring out what dresses they're gonna wear, and we're getting last minute shirts and sneakers ready, and all this stuff. And I as soon as I woke up that morning, I the only comparison that I honestly can even think of is like truly, and I know this expression gets overused, but I mean truly go back to when you're 6 years old and you wake up and you don't know, but you got a pretty good feeling an N64 is at the bottom of that staircase on Christmas. And that the just the nervous elation, you're so fucking happy you don't even know what to do with your hands. That's how I felt when I woke up on Saturday and in preparation for this. Um, and I don't know, man. How were you feeling as we prepared for this?
Oh, we were pacing. We were pacing. We were excited. We were checking our watch every 20 minutes, and we were like, is it time yet? Is it time yet? And then it's like, all right, we're 1 hour away. Let's go get dapped up. Let's go get our suits on. You know,
Yeah.
and even then it just kept getting better because we got out of the house. We went and had nice wine and Italian dinner with a bunch of friends. And
Shout out
then we
Gallows Supper Club in Inglewood, Colorado. Best Italian in Colorado. If you're asking, you should go check them out.
the chicken piccata, man, the chicken piccata.
Yes. Had
And then
a proper group, about 13 people with us. And yeah, got to the venue. What were your impressions of the venue?
everything you would have wanted out of what I expected. Because it's like you never thought this moment would come back. And the
Sure.
fact that they were able to do it, and then there's no expectations because you just know it's going to be phenomenal. How phenomenal is it going to be?
Well, and it's interesting because I don't think people realize before you go how unassuming this place is. I mean, you don't you would drive right past it and have no idea. And I actually have dozens of times. It's on a college.
It's is it on the Denver campus,
Yeah,
University of
yes,
Denver campus? Okay.
it's a DU campus. It's just
Denver
another
University.
building. Yeah, it's just another building, man. It looks like a high school gymnasium from the outside. You would have no idea. And we pull up and you walk in and there's not even security. Like
No,
it is so much of a college opera house that like nobody's patting you down. You're not walking through metal detectors. There's like one girl at the door that's like, "Hey guys, like they're doing sound checks, so you can't go in." And basically, it's a it's like a big lobby before prom. Everyone, and this is the first thing I really wanted to hammer home. Man, did everyone understand the assignment of dressing up tonight? And not everyone dressed up, but I would say 85% of that room
Looked even a
were
higher percentage on the stream. I saw like one dude in a t-shirt and that's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe and I'm just trying to be fair to the people that didn't dress up. If you didn't, there's no fucking rules here. But god damn, dude, it was cool. I just could not get over how well everyone cleaned up together. And I don't there's we're I'm Southern, man. You dress up for things that matter to you, you
like
know?
football games.
Right, like Ole Miss football games. Um, but and so like to me, it's a sign of respect to show up like that, and to see everybody else seem to, whether they verbalize it or just kind of wanted to get dressed up. That was the vibe. It's like, no, this is special, so we look special.
Mhm.
And it was so cool, dude. It- they open
It
up the
was
door.
funny.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Like the 15% that weren't dressed up, I bet 100% of them walked in and were like, "Damn, I think we missed a memo." Like,
Yeah,
and I heard it a couple of times from different people. It was like, "Dude, I think we missed the memo of what to do tonight."
right.
But they were fine.
I mean,
Especially considering it's night 4 out of 5, like it makes it that much more difficult to get all dappered up like that, you
yeah,
know?
exactly. The and this has been talked about at the group ad nauseum, but it was funny because going into the night, and y'all know, maybe the people in the podcast don't know, I am not a big drinker. I am not sober by any stretch of the imagination, but I am rarely drinking at Sound Tribe shows. So going into an event like this, I was like, wine drunk, axe the cables night? Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Hmm.
So go into the venue, and I'm like, yeah, let's get some wine. We stand in line, we get some, and we drank this place fucking dry before they let us in the building.
No way, but wait, before the show started?
It
Before
was
we
10 minutes.
got
10 minutes.
into the venue. Like it was
Oh
the
my
doors were
gosh.
closed. And so in that time, probably what would you say, Brad, 25, 30 minutes that we
30
were
minutes. Everybody's hanging out in the
yeah,
hall.
yeah, that place was completely empty of alcohol. And then I was told that there was some rosé and like one other wine that they found somewhere, and by song 4 of the night, it was all gone. It was a complete wrap.
All they had was warm waters.
No chili water, just warm water, right?
No
No
chili
chili
Uh,
water.
water.
um, well, that's incredible. That whole just like opera hall lobby feel of where you're saying what's up to
Yeah.
people and everything like that is, it's a different experience than like, when you get there and the doors are open and people are already getting their spots, right? Like assigned seating too. So it's not like the same people, I'm sure, who weren't always on the rail were on the rail, right? Um, so you guys were seated
They
together.
managed to get there. A
Yeah.
lot of y'all that are normally up there were up there. So
Hey, good for
props to
them.
y'all. No, they figured it
Yeah.
out.
I saw
I
Kinsley
think it
up
was
there
a
for sure.
I think it made it would think that was a God's like a sign to that was good for the night for everybody not to get sloppy because it's a night that everyone's going to be able to remember too. No one's going to be
Yeah.
like, "Dang, I wish I remembered more of that." Like
Sure.
I had one can and a glass of wine. I'm like, "That's perfect. I'm set for the night." They're starting music.
Yeah. Um, so you guys seated together?
Yes.
Okay.
No, we're
Yeah.
not. I don't know why I said yes. No, different perspectives in the venue. I shout out Hunter Booth. We could shout that guy out every episode. But he handled tickets for that night, getting us secured, and we were there was an orchestra section, and then there was a nice big distance, not big distance, but big enough to dance, probably 7 feet between the back of the orchestra and the next row, and we were in that front row right there. So Zach's side, and then Brad, you were
We were front row in that like elevated. We were right behind Mike on the lights and soundboard. It was right where
okay.
I
Oh
wanted.
yeah.
Like when they went on sale, I was like, I want elevated viewing. They were dead center, front row, nobody in front of me. And then got exactly what I wanted, and I got everything out of the night that I wanted from that view. But
Oh yeah.
we didn't get to hang out with them as much. But set break and after the shows, we were all together.
I mean, but
Okay.
that's one of the cool things about these runs is it's not like this was the only night. They
Yeah,
were we were in swinging distance, and so it allowed you to at least in my case, I got to be around some people that I didn't really get to see some other nights, so it was cool.
Good shit.
and I
So,
got to do it with Sid, and what else could I ask for?
oh yeah. So you get let into the actual venue, right?
Sure.
That's gotta be an experience. Like those doors
Woo.
open and you're let into there, and Scotty talks about rooms where the walls breathe Sector 9 history and that kind of vibe
Hmm.
being set, just being in a room, right? Talk me through that as
Imme-
someone who isn't there.
immediately. You go
I
in and
mean,
you see the instruments, and then you see that wall curtain and the lights kind of breathing off the moving curtain, and you're like, this is what's up. This is fancy. This is
yeah.
what we came to see, and then
Mhm.
music hadn't even started yet.
So and the way that Brad came in, that's your perspective. You're walking directly in, and the first thing you see is the stage. Since I was kind of towards the front, we went in the side, and so when I came in, my perspective was everything behind me was the
Oh
first
wow.
thing I noticed,
Mhm.
and that was the thing that I was like, oh my god, that is the thing that is the most lost on that Axe the Cables DVD is how tall this place is.
Oh
It
yeah,
is
Yeah, it's pretty cavernous, right?
yeah, it is an opera house. Like when they
Yeah.
say it, like it is up there, and there are all these little not boxes because there's a hallway behind them, but just like little sections that jut out a little bit, and it is so cool. Like the cliche is there's not a bad seat in that house, but I don't know if that's ever been truer about a place than at this venue.
no
I
doubt.
mean, wherever you were pumped to be there.
Yeah. Oh
It
yeah.
was intimate no matter where you were.
Yeah.
Well, we love a good evening with, right? So that means we get right into it with the show without an opener, right? So we get into it, and it's kind of like this Eperus. I know it wasn't listed on the set list type intro where Alana's on the upright with the bow, and then Phipps, very similar to the original Axe the Cables performance, had that piano accordion thing going on here
Yeah.
too. And then we get into it right into a couple of Axe the Cable's debuts with You Don't Say in March.
Mhm.
And I thought that was really cool. I thought that was completely out of left field that is not something I would have thought that was coming as the opener.
No.
When he was on that,
Yeah,
I thought Phipps was about to start with frequencies when he hit that little accordion thing.
sure. That frequencies felt like it was gonna pop out all night, but once you started getting a vibe for what they were doing, it became
Yep.
uh, less like it was gonna happen. You know what I'm saying, March? I mean, you hear these two in the electronic version of them all the time, and or you used to at least, and I you don't say in particular is not one of my favorite songs if I'm being completely honest. I think which makes it even better for Axe the Cables, honestly, because it seems like a lot of the songs that have lacked exploration in the electronic version are really, really ripe for it in the Axe version. And I think we saw that very much so with You Don't Say. And March was fucking sweet too.
Yeah, they seem to get ripping right away, kind of like giddy up style, axe
Yeah,
the cables here. Where sure you don't say like in the song in itself, it's yet to kind of go someplace, I think. But as kind of an intro into March, I think is really cool. And what's a better format than axe the cables to take a song that's not necessarily your favorite and make you come around on it, right?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
um, and the music started. Let's talk about it. New guitar for Hunter Brown here, right? Did some digging. It looks like it's a Fender Acoustasonic Jazzmaster natural acoustic
Ah,
electric guitar. So, similar body type to the Jazzmaster he started playing in early 2015, and then the custom build him and his dad have been working on that. He's been using it most shows since then, and he's typically been going to the Gibson hollow body for these axe performances. But yeah, this thing looks slick. I think it looks very familiar to what you're used to seeing him on stage with, as opposed to the hollow body can look kind of big on him at this point. And like, yeah, just a cool look and like more of that just kind of acoustic look, right? So, what do you guys
it.
think of it?
It's funny you say it's the same shape because maybe it's just the wood grain of it all. But to me, the shape of it looks so wild from where I was standing. Um,
It is unique for sure. And here I can share my screen here so we can take a look at it. But it's got kind of a unique depth to it for sure. Um, but this kind of uh, face shape of it is what
sure,
you're working with in terms of the Jazz Master. But it's like this outside edge of it where it kind of needs to be a little bit more hollow for it to be
right,
a hybrid acoustic guitar is what's going to
okay.
look a little bit different here for sure. So pretty snazzy. Brad, your thoughts on it?
Snazzy jazzy, man. I mean, I just kept thinking it sounds so good and crispy and clear and just it was made to be in that building.
Yep.
And we haven't talked about it, but the sound in there was perfect. I mean, everyone I
Yeah,
talked to from every vantage point, from up top to right in front where Scotty was, to me, dead center behind soundboard, because a lot of venues sound best behind soundboard. This isn't one
Yeah.
of them.
Um, yeah, I did right off the bat. I was taking a look, and that was one of the first things I noticed on the stream. Also give you guys a
You
little bit of uh perspective on my end here.
yeah. You're
Last
running
minute
set list this night.
yeah, well, last minute, Gina and I decided to hit Derrick Rose night at the United Center where they retired at boys jersey. So I didn't get to the stream until the second set because they did the jersey retirement ceremony and not until after the game. We thought it would be at halftime and maybe we'd
Dang.
leave. But hey, Bulls hit a buzzer beater with like 2.5 seconds left to beat the Celtics at home to go above 500 for the year. And then, some of the speeches we were getting from some of the ex-Bulls and coaches and stuff were bringing a tear to our eye. But I'm sitting there in the United Center getting texts from Mitch about the set list. So that's how I was putting the set list post together on Facebook. So it was a little bit hectic there. But
I figured you had the stream up and were just like throwing your ear up to it every once in a while to catch the next song.
I couldn't do that. That would be disrespectful to the people around me.
That's
But
fair. It'd be very and to Derrick Rose in general. He
yeah,
deserves
it,
better.
I thought it was ironic that the Gates Opera Hall like logo is like a rose as well. I was looking at that.
Yeah,
I was like, this is trippy how this is
how
looking.
poetic.
Yeah. Then Wicca. I think this was the second longest track of the night here, boys. Nothing wrong with Wicca Chicana right out the gates for this kind of performance either.
No,
Nothing wrong with
and
it.
Axwick is great. You know, one of those that not a huge amount of difference between an Axwick and a standard Wicca. Those songs are both pretty instrument. You know, Wicca's a pretty instrumental song. But then you get our first. Would we call this the first bust out of the weekend?
Yeah. Oh well, I have to go back and look at what else we have. Is that certainly the biggest for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, south of here, first time played with Alana. Or no, sorry, they played south of here at Red Rocks with her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
12
Um,
years.
yep. But yeah, first time played since October 16th, 2014. And man, right out the gates, you're getting Axe debuts, you're getting a Wicca Chicana, which I think, is a little bit different than a typical Wicca. Um, because it's more it allows like Alana and um Hunter to kind of be the face of it as opposed
Sure.
to like super synthy. And it was
Sure.
only the second time they'd axed it. The first time being at those Red Rock shows in 2014. So they hadn't gone back to it in a long time, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
And they're
And
still
then
able to get that Wicca feel though to it. That vehicle just in your
yep,
face, just full throttle, and they
yep,
can still match it
locomotive
just
shit.
without locomotive shit.
Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the way Alana moves around on that stand-up bass is like that's you're like, oh, okay, this is what you're really trained to do. Like
Yeah.
you have been poured into over this part right here, man. I mean, I'm sure like I'm not a stand-up bass connoisseur. I'm sure she could text me 10 people that she would say could go like this, but for my money, man, I've never seen anybody go like that on a stand-up bass.
Yep.
It is truly remarkable what she's able to do to sound tribe songs with that instrument.
It's
Yeah,
a it's a thick sound too. Super
yep.
thick.
I'm sure in that kind of room too,
Yeah.
sounds fucking awesome. And like the slowed down, well, like you get like super fast Alana with the Wicca to like yin and yang with like super slowed down south of here, and then the following official Alana debut of Re Stereo, first time played since let's see here, 2013, 421.
Yep.
Um, Fuck, man. You are four songs in here, five songs in, and man, we all got to be pretty happy with what's going on. So Scotty, I know you've been a little bit of a Re-Stereo hater when I first pulled that clip out. You coming around on this yet?
I don't know what you're talking
He
about. I never said
better.
a bad word about Restereo. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. No, you're right. I'll eat shit. I mean, all
You
I
said
said, all,
we said there's a time and a place, and I think this was the time and the place, right?
yeah. I mean, come on, bro. How do you have a problem with this song, dude? What a stupid thing to
Sid
say.
looked over at me and was like, "This is magnificent."
It is.
Well,
It
and
is.
Oh.
we got to say though, this is the first time in the night that Jeffrey stood up because he went over to his xylophone, and then just when he hits those high xylophone notes,
Oh,
it pierces all the feels that you can
thank
possibly emit.
Thank you for bringing that up, man, because like
Yes.
I feel like the vibraphone has been a little bit lost in years past, and like this set of two songs, specifically Re Stereo, man, when you hear that vibraphone come through, is what hits all the feels until kind of Hunter brings it back all around with that guitar line.
Dude, yeah, I completely agree. You want to talk about an instrument that really cuts through everything in that building, dude? Oh, like I can
Yeah, just
when you
the
started
ringing of it, like
when you
Yeah,
started talking about it, there's like a spot in my chest that I could feel like retroactively, like remembering where I felt it when he hit it. And honestly, dude, that thing, like, dude, Jeffrey sounded so fucking good this weekend. Like, obviously, we're
yep.
gonna get into it a lot.
I You just
Oh,
picked up where he left off in Chicago, man. I feel
I
like,
mean, yeah, I said this to him on the last night. I said that turn Jeffrey shit up is like it's such a thing in the past. People are gonna like get to the point where they don't know what you're talking about. Like
yeah, they're like,
he's
wait, can we turn him down?
yeah,
He he was
turn
he
Jeffrey
was
down.
he was saying how much he loves sitting down and it's comfortable to have that setup that he has, and then you'd see him stand up and hit the rings too. But
hmm
he told me it was cool, it was just comfy, and I felt the energy of everybody.
Hell yeah.
That re-stereo was a Taylor Houston Morgan request, I believe.
Had a
And
Nicely
boy
done,
Taylor,
Taylor.
had a boy
Thank you.
Taylor.
I went to go find him and give him a hug. Yeah, man, what I said about this song was that I think there's other songs that do the same thing better than it. But yeah, that was my first re-stereo, so far be it from me to act like I knew what I was talking about there. That was one of my favorite moments of the night.
And like,
I'm
yeah,
glad you.
when Sydney said this is magnificent, I smiled, looked at her, I'm like, this is exactly why we came here, for these
Yeah,
types of slowed
Sure.
down, just beautiful moments. That I was like,
Those two songs.
we
Yeah,
got plenty
yeah.
more coming tonight too. That's the cool thing.
Right. Well, hey, we've got quite a few clips. Speaking of plenty more coming to get through. So the next song is going to bring us to our first video clip. Thank you so much to the team at Nugs, especially for people
Oh,
like me that were
w-
stuck at home. Uh,
one more thing. During Re-Stereo, we turn around and we see CZ about like five seats over, 5 seats back, and he's like staring with his glasses on, and all of a sudden you just see him slowly just smile and smile bigger and bigger. And then he just starts screaming. He's loving every bit of it. But just that slow smirk as the or vibraphone hits,
yeah,
classic.
fuck yeah. All right, boys, let's listen to some music. All right, boys, messed up somewhere. It's over.
Shadows. Woo!
All
This
right.
song is made. This song is made for this.
Hey, we'll get to what the band says about that in a little bit here, but I mean, you're fucking right, Brad, bringing that up. Like the this being the first of many songs on this evening that was off the Human Dream, I think is uh, a calculated decision.
Mhm.
I think it's the song they feel the strongest about in terms of like the batch of new songs, and the song that probably has gotten the least amount of treatment in the live setting, albeit the one from Aspen earlier in the week finally did get a little bit of an extension. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, this one comes in around 7+ minutes, where a lot of the Peachtree is around 4.5 minutes, and yeah, Brad, I'm assuming you're talking about like how Alana sounds on this, right? Like,
It's, I mean, thick. You know, she
yeah.
ripped it, but just the everything, the whole composition is just. I mean, it's a perfect song for this setting. I was
Mhm.
I was convinced they were going to do what they did in Nashville when they first did Peachtree and go into Ramon. Though
Ooh.
I was completely convinced during that Lana like little towards the end, that little jam. I was next
This
to see.
whole
I went up with CZ for this one, and we had a good time during Peachtree. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I felt like Ramon was getting teased this entire set,
Yep,
and never got it. And honestly, fuck it, didn't need it.
it's
I'd
fine.
I'd be happy if I got it, but yeah, didn't need it, man. Longest peach tree for sure, right?
Let me
It's either
check
that one or Aspen.
on the one from Aspen here. So go ahead and filibuster while I look that up here, Scotty. What are your
Yeah,
other thoughts on it?
I mean, this is what people were looking for. People have been saying, make it longer, make it longer. And we talked last week on the preview episode about how the act setting almost forces you to make some of these songs a little bit longer. And I think this is just the first example of growth out of this song. They extended that breakdown before the wah 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 wah.
Yeah, yep. I was
Um,
gonna say this is like kind of the first of many big Zach moments of this
sure,
night.
yeah. Feels like it belongs in the electronic version too. Um, I hope that this is a sign of things to come with Peachtree, man. Let's keep beefing this thing up because the composition is there.
Both versions from Belly Up and Gates exactly 6 minutes and 32 seconds. So
No way.
Wow.
yeah. Dialed the fuck in. You talk about dialed the fuck in.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of Zach, different drumsticks the whole time as well. He was using drumming rods as opposed to the traditional drumsticks, which I don't know if I've ever seen him use drumming rods in a previous
I I
performance.
I am certain that this is the first time in my 35 years on this earth that I've heard the term drumming rods.
I would assume he's just so he doesn't overtake the other quieter instruments.
Is
It could
is
be it.
that what those is? What are drumming rods? The little
They're basically like thinner like sticks of wood. Like there's
okay.
like 12 of them all wrapped up.
Okay. I
Yep.
didn't know that's what they were called.
Hmm.
Seems like
Was
there should be a better
he was
name for
probably
this.
on a different kit too.
Oh, well, certainly didn't have
Yeah.
his pads or anything like that either.
Mhm.
I think a couple less snare drums than he's got for his electric kit, but him, Jeffrey, everybody in the band dealing with different equipment than they typically do
Yep.
with Phipps on the baby grand. It didn't look like a baby grand. It looks like a grand fucking piano.
No, that thing's huge.
That was a grand.
Yeah. So let's talk about that too, because my only qualm in terms of stage setup was Phipps and how
Hiding.
he well he wasn't able to look at the rest of the band. I get why they did what they did with it being a grand piano. You probably really wouldn't have seen him if you were on like the floor. You would have been like looking up above it to see like a glimpse of his head. He would have been like the neighbor from Home Improvement a little bit.
But
Um,
when
Wilson,
you watch the stream though, you could feel it. He's looking, and then as he starts to look back, him and Hunter would look back at each other. It's like he knew
yes,
it was time, and then
right,
Hunter would be like, "Yep," and then Fitz just goes, "All right, let's go."
true,
I
but
bet his neck did hurt a little bit though. On the stream,
exactly, yeah,
he was doing a lot of this shit, bro. Like,
making the man strain a little bit,
yeah,
honestly.
no, I
But
noticed.
I,
It's funny. I didn't actually think about that till you pointed out, but I did notice that he was turning around a lot. I couldn't really put my finger on what was going on there.
mhm. um, but to be able to see his fingers at work, I think is another length they go to make this special for the fans.
Sure.
Um, and because that can't make things easy in terms of just visual communication, nonverbal communication like they do. But yeah, we get this peach tree, and in Summer Angels, which we didn't get a Grateful Dead cover for Bob Weir, but I think it's safe to assume this one went out to Mr. Bob Weir.
Yep.
Me myself, I've been dealing with quite a little bit of loss as well this year. Unfortunately, we lost my grandmother on New Year's Day, and then we lost. That was my father's mother. And my father lost his brother just a week later, and then actually the morning of the show, my sister had to put down our family cat, Mr. Tom, down, which was a somber note for sure. At the beginning of this day, so I like to think that
Wow.
this one played a little bit of tribute to Tom as well. He's a great cat. He was the kind of cat that made people who weren't cat people say, "Well, I loved that cat." So R.I.P. Tom, man. But this one brought a tear to my eye. How was it in person, boys?
Like
It's the
that.
same every time.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think I think anybody that's been running around this band long enough has an Summer Angels story about someone that they love, whether it was directly dedicated to them or just a moment they associate with them. To me, and Summer Angels is for my buddy Dan Preach, who was murdered in Atlanta, and for that Eastern run. Brad found out about it. The band Bad Alana's Brad, and made sure that song was played for a very very much grieving community of people in Atlanta. So, yeah, I love this song. It always makes me smile at the people that I miss. I think it's a kind of a cool way to celebrate the ones
It was
that
like that
are not with us.
that one in Chicago for Kofi that we got
Sure.
Mhm.
in the House of Blues.
And then right after that, Scotty says the most unnecessary Inspire Strikes Back that ever been played. Could have ended on that note. But yeah, what do you say, boys? Let's get to more Human Dream here. Get back to
Let's do
listening to
it.
some music.
Let's get it. there's that look they give each other.
big week for this song in terms of Glass, I feel
Yeah.
like. Um, feel like we might be getting into the version from Aspen next week too. But like, I let's talk about this first. Alana straight up spangling on this night with this dress, man. I don't think we've seen her get this dressed up for a show yet.
Uh,
Like,
Man, and it's funny because the crowd pops for this
uh,
dress. Unbelievable. I mean, is she anytime there was a moment for her to take a little half step forward and she did, place went fucking bananas, dude. Dude, it was awesome. They all look great, but Alana's dress could have milked the applause for 30 minutes.
I had to talk to her about it on Sunday. I was like, that's as good as it looks, and she was proud of it for sure.
She should have been. She looked amazing.
yeah, I'm sure that's a little bit of a. I don't think she's worn a dress to a show yet. And maybe there's like a. I don't know. I feel like wearing pants would be more ideal anyways. So like, yeah, another risk taken there. But man, it looked really good on the stream, and good to know there was a crowd pop for it. But um, going back to the clip, "Menacer" is a song that has taken on us on such a journey from the first time we've heard it up until really the album release of it, and then this. Um, I mean, this night is chock full of Human Dream, Axel Cable's debuts, but um, yeah, for me in particular, hearing Menacer broken down like this just helped me continue to fall in love with this song.
Curtis Joseph came up to me and we said the same thing to each other almost in unison is that noise should not be possible. The, like the way that they were able to perfectly recreate what you're hearing in that live setting was I mean it just they've told us before and Zach tells us on this night a little bit that this is how they record everything is live. So if that's the case, then in theory an Axe version of every Sound Tribe song already exists,
Mm.
and it's I don't know, man. Minister is just one of those that was hard to picture in Axe form, and it sounded exactly the same.
Well, I think I remember a quote, and it said something like, "Acts from the band. It proves that this music isn't a trick. The sound bites don't make the song necessarily. It doesn't. It's not a trick. This is real. This is intentional. It's a moment of honesty for us to show you what we do behind the scenes, and that's
Yeah.
that's what follows. That's what I fall in love with Axe the Cables because this is how good they are behind the scenes when it's just them.
It's a look into the process for sure, and I think you talk about process with that being the end of the first set. A lengthier set break here on this evening. Lengthier set breaks the whole week. I thought, but just
Yeah.
coming up the stream, which that's going to happen when you get evenings with. Which you know what, it didn't eat into any of their set times or anything like that, so I'm cool with that. But I think
We
on night,
needed a long set break for that.
I was
we
just gonna
we
say.
need to go find anybody to talk about what just happened.
Right. Because you're not necessarily, sitting or standing around the people that you typically would break that down with. So there's a little bit of a process in being able to find the people you want to break that down with. So, but
There also is an element to this night of just not wanting this shit to be over. Like I was other nights the set break bothered me a little bit. Tonight I was like, hell yeah, man! I want to see these people. I want to
hmm
soak this in and hug everyone and get the pictures and all that because I never wanted that shit to be over once it started, man.
hmm
It was the set break was welcome because man, I didn't have time to hug all 900 people or however big that venue was, and so I just I just wanted to get around as many people as possible.
love that. Um, so they open up set two
Yep.
with what I've coined it as like the newest suite here, right,
Hmm.
Scotty? Between uh, starting with Like I Do, which I thought that was a standout. If we had all the time in the world, we'd take a listen to the second half of that. Into It's All Right, and then into Life's a Symphony and Unity. It's all right, right? Um, and like those songs all morph from each other, right? And
Hmm.
it's really cool to hear that and cool to hear the process. And before we hear Zach talk about it a little bit, let's give a second to this show visually. We'll get
Yes.
into it too with one of our clips, but I mean, Jim and I were joking during the stream on Friday. Who he came over to watch, and we're like, "What if they hit him with lasers on axe the cables?" And sure enough, they did. To
Yes.
start the to start
Barely.
the second set. Yeah, just a little bit. Taste the lasers. Um, but this new thing they're doing with the movers, the ground rig,
Surrounding
right?
them.
Yeah.
I call
Create
I
like
what
this.
did what'd you call them? What'd you call
Sorry.
those lights?
I wouldn't know what I'd call them exactly. I don't have the exact term for them, but
I
like
call them curtain lights. To me,
curtain lights. Okay. Yeah.
that's what they resemble is when they're like resting position. They had the band completely boxed in.
Right. You get a little bit of the wave going on with some
Yep,
of it too.
that's how you get those bendy light looks.
Well,
Yeah.
they're in like two light blocks, so each one can move in two lights to go different ways.
Right.
It's kind of like what
Exactly.
Saxon does with
Yeah, and
the
they I know they fucked around with these, but they had them vertical a little bit in one of their tours last year, I think. But to see them go with like a setup of them all surrounding them, I thought was really cool. And then just like you were talking about, Brad, the curtain, so to speak, behind them, or
Yeah,
just like the blank space behind them to kind of use as a canvas was really fucking cool, as
yeah.
well. So shout out to the production team.
the
Um,
videos from people up top on the third level that I'd seen. I mean, they're completely boxed in,
yeah.
and
Yeah, and it's
it
really
looks
cool.
strong.
It looked like a really cool juxtaposition against like the hardwood floor that they were on. It's like a light
Yeah.
hardwood floor that looked really cool. But yeah, I wanted to share a quick clip of what Zach had to say about this
No,
first section to open up the second set.
Life's the Symphony went off. So
It sure did. Yes, I mean it's a no doubter at this point every single time.
God damn. It is so fun. This is so fun. I mean, I'm gonna say something just really quick because it's, obviously we change our set every night. You guys know that. You guys chase songs. You do the whole thing. When we were kind of planning to do this, a lot of the new stuff off of Human Dream it just lend itself to this particular instrumentation. Obviously, this is how we wrote the music. So to kind of deconstruct it for you guys and to kind of give a bird's eye view in a way of our creative process of how things from It's Like I Do to It's All Right to Life's a Symphony, what we just did, and how that was that's our creative process to kind of share with that with you guys. It feels pretty rad. So thank you for allowing us to kind of deconstruct this and do this. And then furthermore, we're incredibly excited to bring out a dear friend, longtime friend, Mr. Dominic Nally. So please give a warm welcome.
Dominic Nally. Never heard of Dominic Nally. But
I thought I heard that.
I mean, how so cool. How often you get Zach referencing song titles and what they're doing
Yeah.
on the mic during a show. This
Right.
this has to hold the record for most amount of time of Zach on the mic, but like I thought it's nothing you would complain about, right? And
No, in fact, it was my favorite part of the show.
yeah,
It to me was funny because I appreciate how I always appreciate this about Zach is how well he understands what he is doing at all times. Um, and him taking the time after repeating a few songs, obviously in a different version, And the first before he says anything, he says, "I know you guys chase the songs, you do the whole thing."
Mhm.
That made me laugh. That was like, look at me taking myself too seriously for a second. And not in I never had a problem with it, but in my head I was just like, that's interesting. That's a choice, and I wonder why that choice was made. And then he comes out and he tells me why that choice is made in real time. And
Yep.
going back to the lack of alcohol thing, I don't know. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but to me, after Zach brought out Dom, the rest of the show was even more elevated for some reason. It just felt like there was this collective rising amongst everyone. Like, I don't know, like the curtain had been pulled back a little bit. It's really, I've been struggling to articulate it since I left, but to me it was noticeable, and it was I don't know, that to open the set like that, and then for Zach to get on the mic, it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen.
Yeah. Hey, we know we just hit you with 5 repeats in a row, but like, here's
Hmm.
why. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if Brad, would you even classify those as repeats? Like, it's just like it's a completely different experience when you see it from Electric to Axe, right?
I mean, when Peachtree hit, I had a feeling I go good because I wanted to at least get there. I didn't realize we'd get 8 of them or 9, whatever it was,
10.
but at
10.
10, it doesn't matter because they're completely different. And it's
Sure.
also not everybody was there. A lot of people were probably only there that night, or just like
Hmm.
me, Saturday, Sunday. It doesn't matter really because they're not the same song.
Right, right. and
You don't
and
have the
I t-
vocals, just listen to what these songs are. And I talked to Alana about it on Sunday. I was like, it just shows you how good these songs are.
Yeah.
It's and she goes, yeah, I mean, that's what we want. It's like this is just proper Sector 9. Wine me, dine me, Sector 9 me, you know.
Right. Without all the bells
and
and whistles, that's what it comes down to, honestly. What were you saying, Scotty?
also, if you're looking for somebody to eat some humble pie, it ain't gonna be on this podcast, man. Let's talk about the Dom sit-in.
For sure. All right, Scotty. Well, yeah, we get our uh first between sixth and seventh with Alana. First time played since December 29th, 2013. That series of the Funnel Murph shows, really. Um,
Hmm.
Scotty, you had a really good perspective of it, of how you were talking to me about it. So as they start playing it, what's going through your mind?
As they start playing it, my phone starts buzzing. I get a couple of text messages from people being like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like you, like remembering the conversation that we had with 5 6 weeks ago, um, and it kind of started setting in on me, and I couldn't stop thinking about it I once I realized, like, damn, how much did we actually have to do with what we were watching on that stage. Daniel McNatt came and found me and gave me a hug and said thank you guys, and by the end of it, I could not send Dom a message. I had to know. And so I asked him, I said, you got to tell us, were you keeping a poker face with us, or did we actually get the ball rolling on what just happened? And he said,
Yeah,
that was all
poker
you
face
guys.
meaning what? They had already had it planned.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah.
what it was is we listened to Between Sixth or Seventh. Immediately after the clip said, Dom, what are you doing on January 24th? And he said, that's my son's birthday. And I said, that's also their return back to Gates. And he had a legitimate reaction to it that, and
He was
hi,
like, wow, wow.
yeah,
Before we said anything, he said we should run that back.
yes, he did. That's true. And so he said that was all you guys. I had just hit Zach up after we talked, and kind of things went in motion after that. Thank you for that. And man, you can't. I don't know, man. I don't say that. I know I jokingly said the humble pie thing, but I don't say this in a braggadocious way. At the end of the day, you just hope that everything that we're doing here is making a difference in some way in the community.
Yeah, and it's not just us; it's anyone that has any part in the community, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is just the part that we are playing in it. And
Mhm.
we've been very clear that we don't view ourselves as more important than anyone. We just want to give some history to this music that we love so much because there's so much of it, and B, it makes someone's day, make a ripple that somehow it causes some kind of effect, and to have played a tiny little part in the ripple. And you know what, dude, maybe fucking that phone call was coming Dom's direction anyway. Maybe he hears about it the next day and calls Zach anyway. But for it to be that, it just felt really cool, man. And it it's just one of the reasons why we felt like this night really deserved its own episode, because there's just so many things to talk about that happened, and it's just that perspective to me was really cool.
Well, I was next to
Now,
you when you read that text from Dom too, and he's like, yeah, that was all you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
oh, so we got to use our powers for good. So we need to talk about non-directional beacon a whole lot more. All right. Do you think we can get Hunter Brown wearing very short jorts by the summer? I don't know. I think we could. Bob Weir style.
As
Yeah.
as another like hat tilt to Bobby. I don't know. I
Yeah.
wrote down I wrote down a couple. Let me oh fuck, I lost them now.
Brad, any ideas on your end? Wait, a full Satori maybe, or a full Gob Nugget?
Full Gob Nugget's always going to be welcome.
Yep.
Okay, so my manifestation list, because I think it was Jin. Someone gave us the name. Somebody gave us a nickname that had to do with manifestation on this podcast, because we do kind of put a lot of things in the air that end up happening. So what I've got, my number one thing, all the members with long hair come out with like the hair down, like
Oh, like
Hunter
hair metal,
Phipps.
like
Yeah,
poison,
like
yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Alana already comes to the party. She
No,
knows.
like straighten it, the hair blow
So
dry
we want
it.
her to
Yeah,
straighten
yeah.
it. Okay,
Straighten it, hair. Yeah.
cool.
Blow
So
dried. Yeah,
Alana straightens it. Hunter and Phipps get blowouts, just
yeah.
like a Southern girl at an SEC football game type
Phipps
shit.
would be amazing.
That is the number one thing I'm trying to manifest from this thing out. If they've got time after that, they can do a PA set. I never saw one, so I'd love to see one of those. Landscape and breath, landscape and breath, landscape and breath. And Japan. Those are my manifestation things.
There you go. All I'm gonna ask for
Taylor,
is non-directional beacon.
I don't know if you know what this sound check was, but Taylor, his 100th show was like 2 nights before, and he wants piece one. That's all he wants. So they did piece one, P and Wah, for the sound check.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he got to be there for that. That's dope. Cool. Well, moving along in the show here, we get to between 6th and 7th, and I mean, let's talk about it. Like, they just fucking nailed it. It was the best version. We hadn't played it if we hadn't played it just a few weeks ago, we'd probably be covering it here tonight. But like,
There was
man,
Dom's
Dom's patience was just like,
dude,
yeah.
that's
but,
what I was gonna say. Like there was like a 15-second build up waiting for him to hit that note. And he's got his mouth. It's like, when is he gonna do it? He's just kind of waiting, getting that breath proper.
Charging it up.
When he hits it, it's just, this is what you pay to see right here.
Yeah. That is goosebump fuel right there.
Sydney
man,
goes, she got a rose from, I think, Bailey. She goes, I want to give him this rose right now.
just regifting right off the bat. Love it. Cool. Well, we don't go far for our next clip, which I thought was the highlight of the evening here.
Same. stank face Jeffrey.
I turned to Daniel McNatt and I said, "This man knows he's on camera so hard right now."
Ladies and gentlemen,
Man,
Mr. Zach Velmer.
Zach gets a lot of credit, but he doesn't get enough. Um, we talk about Zach a lot, but we should do it more. Um, and what I mean specifically when I say that is, I feel like the thing that Zach gets the most praise for is his DMB chops, his ability to play faster than most drummers that I've ever seen. And to me, the thing that maybe is his most sneaky talent is when he gets into his jazz bag. He his timing is really where the sweet spot is with him, and that's why he excels so much in these tempo switching moments like this that are very jazz rooted. It's just it's not his ability to play fast, it's his ability to stop on a dime and
Mhm.
change what he's doing like that makes him so fucking special.
And we don't
I
get
th-
that ever. I mean, we get it in Kamui, but like, when else do we really get him to show off
just
just
Zach.
him?
Just
Just the
Zach. Yeah.
just like
Yes.
Yeah.
that. And like Hunter at one point took his guitar and put it in his mouth and was biting on it
Yes.
and just smiling.
Yes.
Like
Literally,
they
that's
all four of them were just like they probably didn't know what was going to happen there. They just were like, "Go on, Zach, do your thing. Just let us
so
know
you
when to come back in."
so when you're like really into something and like sometimes some people that have like oral fixations like you like bite your pen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad Brad brought that up. He kind of took the words right out of my mouth though. That's exactly what I was about to say. Hunter is not on camera. You don't see this on the stream, but you if you were there, you saw it. He's got his guitar up here like this, and he's got like his top teeth sitting on it. Like he's just like, oh, dude. It was so funny, dude. It was such a human moment, and the only thing that I can compare it to, there was a moment during 1-1 at the Fillmore, where Zach really got in his bag, and there's a picture of it where all four members are just kind of outside of themselves for a second, watching him go, and he's up here like this, frozen in time, and it
Yeah.
was the exact same vibe of just like at some point, everyone is a fan of Zach Velmer.
Yeah. Bro. The amount of Zach that has entered my heart since I think I was a Hunter Brown guy all the way, uh, like in my first handful of years seeing this band. But then, like, when you really start to watch what he does and how he is the heartbeat of this band, and then like moments like this, Brad, which my note on it was like, there's not a single moment like this in the uh, nearly 30-year history of STS9. There really is not, right? And it comes with an Axe the Cable's debut. It comes with one of 10 Human Dream songs played of the night. And just when the solo ends with the and the whole band just comes back with the like that is just like serving Portal onto you on a silver platter, being like, yeah, motherfucker, what do you fucking think of that about that song now?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah. You want
Like,
some sauce on it? You want us to add some minutes to this thing?
oh man, dude. I hope that becomes kind of like what that song is. Like, sure, give Zach his own song to give you like a jazz type, breakdown. Man,
That's like why people chase shows is for moments like that.
yep.
It would be an absolute insult to everyone in that room's intelligence if that part of that song went away after that happening. That would be insane. Why would you do that? Why would that be the only time they let that happen? Like that, nah, dude, that's there to stay. If I am a betting man, dude, they felt that. That's dude, just let that go, dude.
I
Let the
think
man
every
go.
betting man in that building thought Monkey was coming out of that. Didn't think
Sure.
they were wrapping it back into Portal the way.
Oh,
Didn't think they were wrapping it back into Portal like that.
I'm glad they didn't go to Monkey. I'm glad they wrapped
Definitely
up
glad.
Portal.
Definitely.
I think they finished out quite a few songs over this 5 night run that typically would have went otherwise into a segue or just the end of a modular jam. So that was great to see. But yeah,
You finally exited the Portal when they came back into it.
that's right. That's right. Well, shit. We don't go far for our next clip. We're halfway through the clips here, boys.
mean, this shadow look is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. They look like 9-inch nails.
Boom. Dance.
Bro, dude, it was so loud.
They had that Inspire vibe going heavy right here.
Dusk Seas by Alana.
I mean, one time for the lights again, man.
Yeah.
Who is currently running these lights?
I know it's Quantum FX.
I know it's
His name
Quantum
is,
FX.
I was looking at him. His name's Mike, but he's posted something about that right there. How he has had a dream of that for about 5 years. He
Yeah.
finally got the opportunity with the curtain to do those shadows the way that he did it. And he's been waiting a long time to do that, it seems. And he crushed it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect comparison. I said they look like Nine Inch Nails. I think Nine Inch Nails actually had like a lighting LED wall behind them,
It's
but
Radiohead-esque for
yeah, it's
sure.
like it's
Yep.
like there's a couple of bands that when you close your eyes and you think of what they look like on stage, all you can see is the silhouettes, and
Mhm.
it's the House of Blues when Laser Shark filled in that
Mhm.
one year over that Valentine's Day run. He did a lot of silhouette work with them, and that was the first time I really realized how much I liked the band and those kind of looks. And so this was a dream for me. This
Yeah.
I wish that this kind
Instead
of
of the silhouette from behind them, it was the silhouette from in front of them, right?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes. And
Mhm.
like even and when you think about silhouettes, like obviously them themselves look really cool, but what was lost on me until I saw it happen was how cool the silhouettes of all their equipment would look up
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
And these very subtle fills of these templated shapes that you're seeing. There was like the kind of house look, which was like the melting forest or water, whatever you want to call it, but little hints of that in there, man. I can't say enough nice things about where we're going in the lighting direction. I'm gonna say a lot more about it when we get into these electronic shows next week,
Bruh.
but
Mission. Jesus.
man, this for what it was. I called it minimalistic maximalism in the moment, and that to me, whether you talk about the lasers and just the few seconds that we saw them or stuff like this is what I mean when I say that. We had all the toys. They were just very tasteful about how they were used.
Very tasteful. And
Yeah.
then with those lights on Alana, it just made her sparkle like crazy during this.
Yeah,
Yeah. She was the human disco ball for sure.
yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
um, Dusk Dance
Also,
hasn't been
also
has.
we didn't.
Go ahead, Brad.
They I talked to Alana about it. They definitely were going. They did like an open E fake out
Hmm.
going into that, and then people were like, "Oh shit, things are about to go
Yeah.
down." It just didn't go down the way that they thought. I'm sure that they went down.
Dusk into dance has not been done before. I hope we see that more of that. Because Alana teasing Dusk during like that dance breakdown,
Hmm.
so fucking sick. Really, really well done. Really buttery segue. I think the best segue of the night that we saw. But yeah, then we get into what we started the show with, aimlessly. Um, man, aimlessly to me, guys, takes on such a different identity in the Axed realm. Really kind of seems like almost a folkier song. Like I don't think I think the key remains in a minor key, but there's something different about like the grung, grung,
Yeah,
grung, grung. It's like I can't put my finger on it, but it almost sounds like they're playing in a little bit of a different key. Um, but I think it's just kind of the interplay between like open guitar strums and like Phipps chords on it.
sure. It's I mean, and the way the synths come in on an electronic aimlessly is as dramatic as an
Right.
EHM or something like that. And so in the piano version, it almost has to assume a different identity.
Right. There's more empty space to fill for
Yeah.
sure. But like that's kind of where it brings it, which is almost kind of takes on a little bit of a newer identity. And we all know how I and a bunch of other people feel about the song Aimlessly, being the first song I've ever heard from STS9. But I mean, this one was no different. This was the longest track of the night at 10 minutes and 36 seconds. And yeah, was a lot of fun. We talk about old classics. Let's get into an instant classic here for our next clip.
God, fuck, dude. And some knee-high boots.
All right. So we get a drum solo added for Zach in Portal, and we get a bass solo added for Alana in Reminisce. And if these two things can stay exactly the way they are moving forward, we are looking at already one of the most immediately impactful albums upon the band's live repertoire, almost 30 years into this thing. And that's crazy. Because man, like if this song didn't do it for you at first, after hearing shit like
Get the
that,
fuck out of
yeah,
here. Like, get the
like
fuck out of here, dude. Are you kidding me with this song, bro? Like, if you, and obviously we know this to be true, but if you didn't know this, you know the band loves some 90s R&B based on
Mm,
this song alone. Like, there's something about that dun dun from
yeah,
Hunter
the
that
dual
just
lead,
like,
yeah.
oh
Hmm.
my God, makes me want to lay my life down. Like, oh, like stand in the rain. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Yeah.
there's
Hmm.
just there's just something to that. And boy, you want to talk about a song if it stays around, because like there are other songs that exist in the catalog like this. Elsewhere comes to mind.
Definitely.
It's not quite as jazzy and harmonic as this, but like there are songs that they have made that they pop off a couple of times and they fuck right off with them. And Reminisce needs to not be that song. This
Mm,
song is as good as anything they've ever made.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, the combo of lights and tunes in that moment in time
Yeah.
is just probably the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed, heard, all the above. It's just, and I think this is what you and I talked about was the minimalistic maximalism with
Yep.
just a curtain and a bar of lights with the tunes
And
to be able to
that
do that.
gradient. Yeah.
It's just, and I had the joy to watch Mike the whole night, and he's just smiling with the sound guy, and he's loving what he's doing right now, and let's keep that. Let's keep him.
Yes. Please
There's
don't
just
go anywhere,
nothing.
Mike.
That was Nate and I talked about it. This was immediately my favorite song on the album. This and Portable.
yeah.
It's just,
Yep.
and those are
And
the
the,
two
and
best of the night.
they end up being the biggest moments of the evening for sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Which says a lot. They're standing on the shoulders of giants with everything else that happened on this evening. And then I think we all knew we'd probably be getting a Year Infinity, right? It was going to be tough to top what they did with it the night prior, and we're going to get into that next week because holy fuck, like
Yeah.
the one from Mission might be the dirtiest jam I've heard in a really long fucking time. Um, but
I mean, I'm gonna wear this take out for the rest of the history of this podcast. But this is the song of the decade, and it's we're just gonna keep getting smoked with these.
yep,
But I mean, honestly, bro, when you're talking about what they did, especially on the second set with the Axe versions of this song. What a privilege to get to hear some of these songs twice.
No doubt.
What an honor to have stood there in the Mission Ballroom and watched that Year Infinity, and then got my happy ass dressed up to the nines and gotten to go see what I saw the next night in that Year Infinity. Like, dude, fuck yeah, man! I thought that yes, I'm all about it. The shit was so cool.
Well, Taylor and I talked to set break, and I was like, Taylor, how about a fatty dance? He goes, man, they've done that before. I want to hear some cool stuff that's never been done. Well, we both got both of what we said right there because
Sure, within that
everything that
dance.
everything with that we haven't seen before just was. I mean, all smiles. It was,
yeah.
yeah. You put you in a trance. That puts you in a trance right there.
So yeah, I mean this is the seventh the Human Dream song of the second set, the third and the final one of the show. And then three in the first set rounds out. So you get 10 Human Dream songs. And Scotty, I was jokingly, not really jokingly, but like saying like they might just axe the whole album. Shit, they got to more than half of it, right?
No,
And
I mean, dude, I in the
you said
moment,
what,
dude,
three or four?
I
Yeah.
scoffed at it. I scoffed it. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I scoffed harder in my mind. I was like, fuck, the fuck is this dude talking about right now?
Bro,
They're
you that
not.
you know they were gonna let go of that opportunity to do it, dude, and you know
I didn't
like
know that. I was pretty sure that they were not going to do that, and they
yeah,
did. And it just we've said it before on here, but they don't give you what you want; they give you what you need.
yep,
And God, what an absolute treat, man! Like the context that Zach gave, man, it was like even though that stage was big as fuck, dude, it was like at times it's like you're looking through a window into them creating this in real time, and I don't know,
yep.
it just there's some magic to that.
So 10 Human Dream songs again. Would have loved to see Never Never, which up till the next night had been the one song they hadn't played over the Human Dream over the course of the first four. But at some point, I'd love to hear an Axe Never Never. I feel like that would slap. And then 12 total Axe debuts. So it's obviously going to be the most total Axe debuts in a night since 26 years ago at the very same stage, right? So
Yeah.
special shit. But for our final clip, let's bring out our very good friend, Mr. Dominic Lally, to round out the clips here.
That looks like a Miami club owner.
Woo.
Okay.
I mean,
Um, yeah, I don't know if we need to say a whole much about that. Like,
And this is where we get to the point where Dom walks off that stage and I start to get a little sad
yeah.
because like, it's almost, and I think I've talked to you about this before, Nate, like that the last 15 minutes of the last show of a run where you're kind of like, damn, that's
Yeah.
we're done, but it was for this night, man. I was like, no, 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 let's keep going, man. Like you never want the toothpaste to run out of this tube, man. Like it it it, it just keeps man, like there nothing, there wasn't a damn thing wrong with this night. I don't give a fuck about running out of alcohol. Like this was as good as it gets,
it was
and
the perfect show.
yeah, and at this point, you give a fuck what the encore is gonna be. Like, you come out of here and I don't know, stomp on your piano for all I care. Like, this is already a perfect night.
Um, just the interplay between Dom and all of the band members there. You heard Phipps get really involved with whatever he was laying
Hmm.
down. You heard Alana really clearly dig into some of those arpeggios he was laying down. Hunter just like filling in the cracks with like the rhythm guitar and like Zach just with the yelp there, just like whoop. Like,
Hmm.
the fact that the mic picked that up is like my favorite
Yeah.
thing about the whole night. Like,
And
um,
dude, like they were just so happy to be there. Dom was just obviously thrilled. This is, this is the equivalent of him running around on a playground. And
yeah.
when you get to see them cutting up, I mean, I one of my favorite moments I forgot to mention on the dance clip was when that first dance hit. The pop was so loud that Mr. Serious Hunter Brown never looks up from his guitar was visibly like startled. He like, oh, like, and he looked up for a second and smiled and was like kind of like, holy shit, that was loud, like there were so many human moments where they were just in their purest zone
Broke the
of
fourth wall. Yeah.
yeah, just they're just kids playing their instruments in front of people that really like them a lot.
So yeah, the first crystal with Dom, and only the second axe crystal that exists to finish out the second set. And then, Brad, what were you thinking for an encore going into it, man?
Man, at Encore or at set break, Scotty and I were like, man, what could really bring this house down? And I was like, I feel like Circus would just do the business to everybody around.
Hmm.
And it still felt like that after that crystal. But for them to go full circle, the very first act show ever made, to Dim B to open it and at Gates, and then to close it out with Alana's Dim B, I don't think it gets much better. The heads will know that was a perfect choice. It's
Did Dimby open the first show?
Did not open it, but they played it
That's what I thought.
at the
Okay.
first show. Yeah.
well, is it New Soma
I
then?
Yeah,
New
it's New
Soma
Soma.
New Soma the following, then Demby. That was the third track.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Okay.
so close, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
like
That's a very
I
cool
hadn't
observation.
I had not thought of that yet, Brad. That was a great point. That it is pretty much a full circle axe moment.
Mhm.
Because
Considering
that's
it's
that's kind of the same thing that happened 3 nights, like 4 nights ago, where they take a new album because Peace Blaster was what 2 years old, and to strip these down, Dim B, New Soma, for them to
Sure.
see a new light. It's like revisiting old memories with a new perspective, and it's just. I bet the people that loved Peace Blaster at that time got to hear that and felt the same way that we did with new, fresh songs,
That's
last
a
Saturday.
really, really good point about the Peace Blaster song, and obviously the timing's a lot closer with the Human Dream, but a lot of these songs, I'm sure, were people that probably didn't have too many nice things to say about a lot of them heard them in this instance and probably was the first iteration that people were like, "Oh, okay, these songs
Yeah.
are serious pieces of music." That's a really, really good point that I had not thought about at all.
Yeah, was it just The Fog and New Selma from
And
that first? Because Demby is not Peace Blaster.
I guess MB isn't Peace Blaster. In my head, it
Yeah.
was.
Either way, I mean, yeah, with those two songs, like starting with New Soma
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. So yeah, the Fog, the New Soma, and then shit what was the other one I said. Was that it? Yeah, the Fog and New Soma. Um, but yeah, that's part of the reason why that clip that you hear from the first notes of the first act show and people are slowly realizing it's New Soma are
Yeah.
yeah, that's why it hits for sure because you're like, holy shit, this sounds way different than I thought it ever could. But no, for them to get the opportunity to do this with these Human Dream songs, I think is very prudent. So close to the release date, and I think it's just kind of propels them into what the rest of the year is going to hold for them. And like these songs have already been accepted way quicker than past releases. Sure, are they facing a little bit of like heat for how often they're being played? Absolutely, but we already know that they fit better with the rest of the material. And
yeah.
I think there's already people that are stand on business for a lot of these songs already a lot quicker than we saw for pretty much any other release that they've had. So
Sure. I think there's just as much of a chance of somebody thinking this is an old song that they're not familiar with, as recognizing it as a new song with a lot of these. I think Reminisce is a good example. Peachtree, like some of these sound more similar to some of the like '04, '05, '06 forgotten songs than they do to the stuff that's being created now.
yeah, well,
One
I
moment
think
that I love with X is when Murph goes, "You're gonna like this one," and they do
yeah,
Moonsocket, and I think to me Moonsocket X from that show is probably my favorite version of any song they've ever done, and that might not be true anymore
right
after
after a night like
Stardust.
this,
How
yeah.
could it possibly be? Dusk Dance is a thing that exists in the world now.
That portal
That
exists.
portal.
Cool. Well, I think final order of business, fellas, is coming to an agreement of an MVP here. You guys were there. I'll let you start.
Group effort. It, they
Honestly, man,
all.
yeah,
It's a tough decision between Alana and Zach for me.
I think they just gelled so well together, and they all had their moments, and they all just made the night. The night was the MVP. Everything that went into it.
The crowd.
man. I wish Brad hadn't gone first because I was gonna say us. I, but no, Elena. When I say us, I mean everyone, bro. Like I mean that answer so much, Nate, that I hadn't even thought about that question being asked tonight until you just asked it. And about halfway through, I go, "Oh shit, he's gonna ask us who the MVP is," and I have given it not a
You
millisecond
can't.
of thought. I really haven't, man. I mean, if I have to give it to somebody based off the clips that we just listened to, it's Alana.
Hmm.
But truly, what made this night worth an entire episode was not a single musician. It was every single thing that went into it. Everyone put effort in tonight. Like not a single person that showed up didn't give something to this experience. And I don't know if that can be said about every show or any show that I've ever been to. So yeah, I think my honest answer is all parties involved.
All right, we'll go with that then. I'll take your guys' word for it. As someone who streamed the show and was not there, Scotty,
We missed
you were
you.
the tiebreaker. I'll thank you. You were the tiebreaker. I'll go with Alana then. But man, Zach, moment of the night with that
Sure.
Portal moment with just with the true drum solo with bringing Portal back. Man, I don't know that shit. Even thinking
Ripped.
about it, yeah. Like, um, but Brad, man, thank you so much for joining us. This will not be the first last time that you join us. And your perspective is something that pulls a lot of weight for holds a lot of weight for me with this kind of shows. I know this is really your jam. So really glad that you and Sydney got to be there. Um, Honestly, the amount of moving I've done just watching these clips back doubles down on my thought. It was probably a good idea for me not to be there. This is getting me a little bit sore here as I continue on the road to recovery. But guys, this was awesome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, whether you're watching on YouTube, listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Throw us a like, throw us a subscribe, throw us a comment or review if you're feeling nice. We will be back next week with a new guest, Miss C.T. Morley, going to be joining us, who's at all 5 nights to break down Aspen, Fort Collins, um, Mission Ballroom, and then Cervantes. But until then, much love. Have a great weekend,
Yes,
guys.
Pats.
It's
Peace.
been a pleasure, fellas.